Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. And by New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, New Orleans, where stories are created.
Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Ian McNulty, food writer for the New Orleans Advocate. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks,
Good to
Peggy.
see you. Hello,
Great to be here.
Hi. Hey, I'm so glad he's also back. WWL TV film critic Alfred Richard, who is in his guise today, though, as a member of the 610 Stompers Dance Troupe. Good to see you again, sir.
Good seeing you, Peggy. Good seeing you.
And I am so delighted to hear that musician, composer Michael O'Hara is also with us, also known as the Sheik.
Hello, Peggy. It's so good to be back.
Hey, yes, indeed. And Alan Smason of theatercriticism.com. Hello, hello.
Hey.
But first up, Ian.
Peggy, I'm here to talk about Vietnamese food. Now, let me tell you, it wasn't that long ago that if I started talking about Vietnamese food in New Orleans, you know, some people would be like, oh yeah, I love the spring rolls or whatever. But, you know, for a lot of people, it was still kind of exotic if you weren't brought up in the Vietnamese community. Well, those days are long gone, right? I mean, it's a major mainstream craving for people. The bowls of pho, the banh mi, the spring rolls, the bun noodle bowls. What's been really interesting lately is the way the next generation have moved those flavors forward. So think about it this way, if one generation of Vietnamese families, the immigrants who came over from the old country, made us fall in love with Vietnamese food, and they did for me, their kids, their American-born second-generation Vietnamese families are opening up their own restaurants that are putting a much more modern, intergenerational spin on it. And they're doing this in New Orleans. So what are they coming up with? Viet New Orleans flavors. I'm going to walk you through a few places that I think really represent that pretty well. We're going to start in Metairie at Banh Mi Boys. Banh Mi, of course, are what? They're the po' boys, right? They're the Vietnamese po' boys, they used to call them. Well, Banh Mi Boys is like stuck right there on the side of this Texaco station that's on Airline and Transcontinental out near the Saints training facility. And you walk inside, you'll find Peter Wynn. His folks run the Texaco station next door. He wanted to do his own thing. They said, why don't you open up a little po' boy shop? People like po' boys. He said, yeah, I will, but I'm going to do Banh Mi Boys instead. Banh Mi Boys are the best of Vietnamese po' boys and the best of New Orleans po' boys combined. Look at that one. That's the Bocaux beef. It's like roast beef that you get at a po' boy shop, all dripping with gravy and wet and napkin testing. But the flavors in there, soy, garlic, ginger, just seeping into that crusty bread, all those fresh herbs on there. And then they get playful with it because this is what that next generation does. They're grown up on Food Network TV shows and Travel Channel stuff. So they take that same Asian flavored beef and put it over French fries. That's that's like your debris fries. Right? So this is just a counter service place. Easy as can be. They're always coming up with something new. For carnival season, they've been doing a banh mi bread pudding with carnival colors over the top, of course. Just delicious. It's a really, really nice place, and quick and inexpensive too. Bachi Canteen is another one that I like. It's been around for a few years. It's up near the universities on Maple Street. And this platter right here that we put together, a whole bunch of different things here. But what you can't see under all those toppings are the ingredients that you would find, again, at a po' boy shop. Fried shrimp, fried oysters, fried catfish, but heaped with the banh mi toppings in these taco shell fillings that are like actually roti bread, this crusty, buttery Asian-style flatbread. Now, from the po' boy shop, we're going to the crawfish joint, right? Get some boiled seafood. But they do it Viet Cajun style now. Big Easy Seafood is this place that I love in Gretna. This is a style that really took root in Houston, was popular in California. It's finally started to show up here in New Orleans, back where, you know, in the crawfish heartland of Louisiana. They boil them like usual, but they toss them with this rich garlic butter. Now, you try that, it's delicious, but just be warned, you can't eat as much of that as you do your normal Cajun-style, Louisiana-style crawfish, because it's covered with butter and garlic. It's delicious. You want to lick it off your hands. But if you're the kind of person who puts away 3 pounds of crawfish easy, start with a pound and see how you do, because it really is a lot richer. And then finally, the corner store. You know, the anchor of so many neighborhoods, and that place we just drop in for a quick meal when we're on the go. Eat Well Food Store is a great example of that, the corner of Broad and Canal, right in the middle of Mid-City. Busy, busy place right here. When you walk in, there's quarts of beer, there's chips, there's junk food, there's lottery tickets. And then in the back, there's this magnificent deli kitchen where they make pho, they make spring rolls, and then they make things like this, banh mi with soft shell crab. Oh. So think about the soft shell crab po' boy, but transformed into a banh mi. And the thing I love about a place like this is it's just part of the natural rhythm of New Orleans food now, right? It's the corner store, it's the po' boy shop, it's the seafood joint. It's as familiar to New Orleans as the passing of the seasons, but now you're going to find these different flavors from people who are New Orleans people. They are New Orleanians, but they come from Vietnamese families, and they're merging the two of them in the way that they cook.
Thanks, Fantastic. And before we move on, we just wanted to kind of mention the very sad passing of Chef Michael Yuta.
Yeah, this affected a lot of people. He passed away last weekend. We got the news on Monday morning. He was not quite 60, he's 59, and his family misses him dearly, as do many people who remember him through restaurants through the years, especially G&E Courtyard Grill down there in Decatur Street in the French Quarter, a real pioneering kind of restaurant. He's remembered for his dishes, for his personality, for his generosity, and you know, he made an impact on New Orleans food culture as well as in his family life.
All right, thank you. And Alfred, normally we invite you on to talk about movie and TV production, but this is totally different because I know you are a proud, almost a decade long now, member of 610 Stompers. Give us a little bit of a history if somebody's experiencing this for the first time.
For the first time,
we're going to show some footage
for
too,
the uninitiated. The 610 Stompers started in 2009 with the rise of the Saints as they were going through. The original 610 Stompers, led by a young man by the name of Brett Patron, whose nickname was Slab, and he's still with the Stompers. And here we are, some of our guys there on the route here. We're preparing for this past year of Mardi Gras. We're doing one of our great moves here. And you can see right in the middle, you got Mikey doing his general moves. We are ordinary men with extraordinary moves, and we're, of course, banging out the drums.
Now, it all started, though, didn't it, at the Dome during a Saints game?
It was actually the 610 section is where it actually originated from. And there's Slab right there leading us all, and you can see Slab giving his best moves.
Now, the Macy's Parade, what, twice?
Twice, 2011 and 2015. We have expanded from the original 40 or so. I joined in 2010, jokingly called the Jackie Robinson of the 610 Stompers. And we've now grown to a larger group. We are now nearly 130, including a young man. His name is Jason Homer. We have a number of guys, but I just want to mention Jason Homer. He is our first 610 Stomper who is in a wheelchair. He lost the use of his legs some years ago, but he nailed all the moves in his wheelchair. In fact, for our debutante ball, where we debut our new moves and dances for the year, he decorated his wheelchair with bright lights and such as we were preparing for our theme this year, Cirque the 610. The circus. But
if somebody wants to be a member, what is the website?
The website is www.610stompers.com. That's where you get the information. Auditions are every August, and it's a very difficult choice. There are about 200 guys who try out, and it depends on the year. This past year we took 15, because it's hard to believe. 10 years ago we rolled, and we've been to Macy's twice, Louisville, Kentucky for the crew of Pegasus Parade, Washington, D.C. for the crew Louisianians Ball, thanks to Tommy Zatanovich, who flew 60 of us up there secretly to dance for everyone, from Steve Scalise to former Senator Mary Landrieu.
Now, we have a list. Let's see. You're all going to be in what? Poseidon, Carrollton, Nick's? Go ahead.
Nick's, we're going to be in Poseidon in Slidell this coming weekend. And, of course, the crew of Carrollton on February 24th. The crew of Nick's, where we're going to be dealing with those wonderful purses on the 27th. Then the crew of Hermes, Uptown, March 1st. The crew of Toth, I love that one. That was in my old neighborhood. March 3rd, starting there, marching through the area. And the crew of Orpheus this year. Last year we did the crew of Zulu, but now we're going to do Orpheus. So it's sort of a sprint to the end. But it's been a great ride. We have raised over $500,000 for charities in our Stomper Gives Back Society, and we have messed up over 500,000 dance moves as well. But we are ordinary men with extraordinary moves, everyone from Big Bird, Mont Creamer, who is our president this year, all the way to our rookies, guys, and our splits, who are the females who are our security force.
Well, thank you, Alfred. It's great to have you back as always. And New Orleans Magazine quiz queen Julia Street has a question for us. Last time, Brooks Rodrigue told us who recorded and wrote the original versions of the song Ruler of My Heart. Of course, Irma Thomas, singer, and Alan Toussaint, respectively. Now, tonight's question. Two oversized creatures are part of their cruise parade every year. One is an alligator in Bacchus, and the other is a serpent with Orpheus. What are they known as? What is their official name? Okay, email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prize is a year subscription to Louisiana Life magazine. Mardi Gras pajamas, extra large, from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. And a copy of the book Mardi Gras Chronicles of the New Orleans Carnival by our own Errol Laborde. The book covers Mardi Gras past and also the present. You can go to WYES.org. And by the way, thanks to Pelican for that donation. You can go to WYES.org for our lineup of events, including organist Emmanuel Concassi performing at St. Joseph's Abbey in Covington this Sunday. You can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to see our program. Now, Michael, we're so glad you're back, and you're celebrating a bit of an anniversary.
I sure am. I just got signed to Rabidash Records, and they're celebrating their 35th year anniversary. And I'm one of the newbies, so I'm very honored to be
and John
on the
Otan,
roster.
of course, is
John
at the helm.
Otan
He's
is
a
our
very talented
president
local
and our
pianist.
fearless leader, and we honor him, yes. So they're doing a big celebration at Rock and Bowl this Sunday, the 17th, which I'm going to be one of the headliners on there.
And around what time are you going to perform?
My performance is from 9:15 to 9:45 because there are 11 different performers going on, so they cut away from me. But I'm not mad. No.
And your current CD, the name of it?
It's called It's My Turn. After writing for Anita Baker and all those people like that, I finally got signed by Rabidash, and I call it It's My Turn.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, on a regular basis, folks can see you at, what, the Chop House?
I'm at the Chop House, 322 Magazine Street, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I'm at Fleming's on Thursday nights. But I'm in a different capacity as the torch singer. Sit at the grand piano and sing the songs of the 30s to the 80s.
Now, you've been busy. I mean, I don't think you sleep because, wait, you've written a book, another novel?
Well, it's a
or?
sequel to my first book that was published in 2013, which was called Church, ! This one is The Little Minister Part 1, and it's the first of 5 sequels that I've written.
Well, 2 things that whenever you come on, I always have to remind everybody is that, first of all, you lost how much weight?
230 pounds.
230 pounds. Pretty
Yes.
amazing.
But it took me 9.5 years to do it because I was afraid of that bariatric surgery.
So you didn't do that?
No.
Okay, you didn't
I
do
just
that.
changed my life and taught myself how to eat, especially here in New Orleans because the food is
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
That's kind of impossible, right?
It's the food combining that gets us, yeah.
And you're also an ordained minister.
I'm an ordained minister, and I do a lot of work, charity work in the different nursing facilities and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're going to sing tonight for us.
Well, this is a song. This is one of the singles from It's My Turn, and it's just been released nationally. It's called I'm Searching.
All right. Well, by the way, as he had mentioned briefly, he has written songs for many people, including some Grammy-nominated songs, but Anita Baker and Patti LaBelle, to name just a few of the stars that he's worked with. Busy guy. So let's hear Michael O'Hara.
Ooh, yeah. I'm searching, praying, looking for somebody new. I'm hoping, waiting. Tell me, baby, could it be you? Here we go, dancing in the light, the crystal daydream night, shining bright starlight. Oh, searching for the nighttime, daytime, right time, one for me. I've lost my faith and hope. I need your kiss to set me free. Oh, I'm searching for the nighttime, daytime, right time, one for me. I've lost my faith and hope. I need your kiss to set me free. Can you touch me, love me, make my heart live again? Can you be there in the morning? Stay with me until the end. Here we go, twirling endlessly. It's only you and me. Has heaven heard my plea? Oh, I'm searching for the nighttime, daytime, right time, one for me. I've lost my faith and hope. I need your kiss to set me free. Oh, I'm searching for the nighttime, daytime, right time, one for me. I've lost my faith and hope. I need your kiss to set me free. I'll take all you're giving, even if it's just for one brief night. Baby, I feel like I'm living for the magic in your eyes. Oh, I'm searching, yeah, but for now we're twirling endlessly. Has heaven heard my plea? Darling, talk to me.
Yay! A reminder
Really nice.
that you can see Michael O'Hara as well as many other local stars performing at the Rabbit Bash at Rock and Roll this Sunday. Visit Rock and Roll's website for tickets. Now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we are showing a selection from Xavier University's newest exhibit, Icons, Ideals of Black Masculinity. This is Solely Cease by Kaheen Wiley. And then we have another one, A Better Tomorrow by Zake Turner. And this is Wall is Mythical by Yeshua Red. All of these artworks are featured in the exhibit, and it's from the collection of actress CCH Pounder. It's a private collection. Of course, we know she stars, she's wonderful, in NCIS New Orleans, and she has adopted New Orleans as her home. The exhibit runs through February 28th. It's at Xavier's Art Gallery on Musketeer Drive on the campus. So really something, really
I like
intriguing.
that, a
Isn't
New
it
Orleanian by choice.
We love it, we love it. Yes, indeed. And now to
Well,
Alan.
this is the week that I actually went back to college. Literally, I went back to all three universities I attended at one time or another. Keely and Do is at UNO, and that's the first one I started, directed by Kalo Gao. She's a new member of the staff, the faculty at UNO. There's a work by Jane Martin, and it was written for the Humana Festival back in 1993. You know, and again, it sort of shows it. It's an old work. It's a little bit outdated, but it deals with and concerns the highly charged topic of abortion and the rights of the mother. Keely is played by Emily Bagwell. We, of course, know her as the daughter of Tom Bagwell. She's a pregnant woman who finds herself the kidnapped victim. She literally is chained to the bed, and she's a victim of this vigilante Christian group. So they're basically trying to keep her while she has her baby. And again, Do is played in a very understated fashion by Claudia Soir, who's her caretaker. The two really form a very strange connection between captive and captor, and they find that they have a lot more in common than they may think. Patrick Hunter plays Walter, and he stepped into this role with about 12 days' notice, so really kudos to him. He's one of the leaders of the Christian Zealots who believes that really saving the life of the unborn is more important than whether or not the mother should be free. Again, the question is this a Christian act? Well directed by Kello Gay. The play is a great many more questions, I guess, that it raises, that it answers. It's really worth seeing. Very emotional performances contained. And again, only 2 shows remaining. Again, Kello Gay, brand new to the scene, and we're looking for some great things from there over at the Robert Nims Theater at UNO. I returned, meanwhile, to my alma mater, Tulane, earlier in the week with Lynn Nottage's Intimate Apparel. This is a play set in New York at the turn of the last century. I really enjoyed this work, especially the role of Esther Mills. She's played by Drea Bawdy. She's an African-American seamstress who is illiterate and makes a living by sewing the intimate apparel, if you will, of some women climates, some from the very, very high society and some from the, as you will understand with Storyville, maybe a connection there, the red light districts. Nagel Boyd plays Mrs. Dixon, her landlady. She admires her handiwork. And Liv Glassman plays Mrs. Van Buren, a woman of standing. So Ross Brill, I would mention also as a newcomer on the scene. He plays a Jewish retailer of fabrics who admires Esther probably a little more than he should. Brill, who is Jewish, by the way, managed to use his late grandfather's phylacteries, the tefillin, if you will, as part of the play, which I thought was really ingenious. Letters written to Esther by a would-be suitor, George Armstrong, arrive at her home. That's played by, the very well-crafted Polanco Jones Jr. I don't know if you know Polanco, but he's known as a choreographer. So it's interesting to see him. He's been involved in several works, JPAS with their most recent offerings, Le Petit, and now, of course, at Tulane. I thought the student production was really staged brilliantly, and I enjoyed the performances. It's a very tautly written work by, of course, Lynn Nottage. Monica Payne was the director. Again, going on just one more time, I didn't have a chance to really send pictures or whatever, but they also are finishing up the run of what essentially was a takeoff of Uncle Vanya by Chekhov. It's Aaron Posner's work, Life Sucks. This is directed by Amy Hayes from Southern Rep. It's got an
Busy
updated
lady.
musical score and audience interaction. Again, it's finishing up its run, but it was interesting. It's updated with music and other things to it, so it's a little bit different than Uncle Vanya if you're accustomed to the Chekhov, but again, as I said, pretty well done. Also this weekend, you'll have a chance to see Sheer Madness. That's at the Teatro Ouigo. That's on the West Bank. Again, it's where the audience and the police and detectives try to determine who it is, the whodunit, if you will, in a murder at a local beauty salon. Janet Shea leads that cast, and the show looks like it'll be coming back many, many more times because it's been running for a long time. The first images, by the way, came in just this week of Charlie Talbert. He was announced as Ignatius Riley in the upcoming production of A Confederacy of Dunces. That'll be in conjunction with the Tennessee Williams New Orleans Literary Festival. Keep in mind, this is going to be directed by Francine Siegel. It'll star a whole bunch of people. Edward Cox and Vatican Loki, I think, are also in the mix. So, again, that'll be coming up on, Wednesday, March the 27th as the opening night for the Tennessee Williams Festival.
Thank you, Alan. And now time for our picks. Alfred.
If you don't have the wherewithal to get to Los Angeles on the 24th of February for the Oscars, the Britannia Theater will have their red carpet and the Oscar watch party. You can go to thebritanniatheater.com to find out more information about it, and I'm going to be there, not in my Stomper uniform, but walking the red carpet, but this is red as it is.
Yes. Ian.
Very different sort of king cake party. This one at Cavan, and it's king cake and caviar. We're talking about savory king cakes filled with crawfish, topped with goat cheese, and Cajun caviar. That local company will be dishing out the caviar on top of it. It's a ticketed event. Starts at 6 on Tuesday. Includes some drinks out there. It's a nice happy hour kind of thing, and should be very different. It should be a good way to kick off some Mardi Gras spirit.
Fun,
Yeah.
Michael.
Well, besides the Robert Ash celebration at Rock and Bowl, you can get my 2 books, Church, ! by Michael J. O'Hara, and the new sequel, The Little Minister Part 1. It's available on barnesandnoble.com, and I would love you to read it and see what you think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Well, the Fillmore is opening up finally, and it'll be opening up, I believe, on Monday. They have a progressive rock group. And then on Tuesday, it's sold out. You can't go. But Wednesday, there's still tickets available. Duran Duran is coming, which I'm looking forward to. And then Hello Gorgeous. I want to remind everybody, they do this once a month, a cabaret circus, sort of like the Cirque du Soleil, but it's also involving burlesque. And this is something that the Laniap stage is doing with Southern Rep.
Okay, and backing up for a moment that Xavier exhibit, which is a not-to-be-missed exhibit. Zane Turner. I think I said Zake. But anyway, Zane Turner. Some wonderful artists in that. What an exhibit. And we love Ms. Ponder. I'm a big fan of hers. She's so great.
Me too.
And my picks. Okay, Crew de Vue, followed by Crew Delusion tomorrow night. You can catch that's going to be, what an evening, huh? And you can catch the Dame de Prelage walking crew with their intricately beaded bodices holding their own procession. That's this Sunday at the Audubon Zoo. The little procession starts at 10 a.m. Visit the Dame's website for more information. The New York Preservation Archive Project's Brad Vogel will give a lecture about poet Walt Whitman's stay in New Orleans. That will be this Sunday at the Round Table Club. That's over on St. Charles Avenue. Visit LouisianaLandmarks.org for more info. Don't forget T-Rex Sunday, that parade at 4:30, starting at the corner of St. Roch and St. Claude. And they also go behind, of course, the St. Roch Market, and they have quite the route in the neighborhood. And you can go to their website, trexparade.com. Of course, you know, the floats are inspired by the shoebox floats we used to make as children. Looking ahead, Chalmette High School will be holding their own production of Guys and Dolls. Performances will be next Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at Chalmette's beautiful Cultural Arts Center. Visit the website on your screen to purchase tickets. And the crew of Vaporwave will be presenting their own rock opera titled Oedipus Max next Friday at the Piazza d'Italia. Lots of interactive light show stuff going on there. Eventbrite.com to get your ticket. There's also music before it too. And the NOLA Designer Carnival Costume Bazaar is next Saturday at the New Orleans Healing Center on St. Claude Avenue. Visit their website for more info. I've gone there. If you need pieces of little costumes, you know, and wonderful hats, kabuki hats, lots of great little costume decorative pieces for you. Another Tennessee Williams Festival edition here. Actor Val Kilmer will be returning to New Orleans to present his cinematic performance of Mark Twain. It's called Cinema Twain. That'll be on March 29th at the Joy Theater. Visit the Joy's website for tickets, and that's part of the Tennessee Williams Festival too. I also wanted to show you some wonderful beads, which I am wearing tonight. It's called Atlas Handmade Beads. They're made by women. It's a women's collective in Uganda, you know, to help get a sustainable wage, of course. And it's actually recycled magazines, not New Orleans Magazine, magazines, and lacquered. I mean, they're just so pretty. And you can go to the website, atlasbeads.com, for a list of where they're available. I have been to Forever New Orleans on Royal and the Roosevelt gift shop buying some, but they're really quite beautiful. I think they're more of costume jewelry than just throwing in mass quantities. They're just really lovely, and kudos to Kevin Fitzwilliam for mounting this drive locally. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Good night.
Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. And by New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation. New Orleans, where stories are created.